Charmaine, I just have to ask, because there are some of the, I'd say, extreme Star Wars fans who have made this a conversation on the internet about how they don't want a female director.
Hello, everybody.
If there's something weird, who are people going to call?
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Do we need more women in Star Wars? No, we don't. No one. Women don't even watch Star Wars. They don't even care about it. It's a man's little thing. Let them have it.
All the employees were smiling, and that's probably in large part because they didn't own any Disney stock.
We're going to need all the help we can get.
Let's get to work.
It's all dark and horny at 12 o'clock.
I mean, Kathleen Kennedy has been overseeing all of this. So, what is your take on that?
I think my take is things get blown out of proportion.
Ask, and you shall receive.
Over my 35 years, I've often been asked what my favorite ride is. My standard answer is the next one.
You play ball, we play ball.
They're going to do the Mary Poppins thing. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. Yeah.
Oh, bitch, you killed Kenny.
Kenny.
You fat hoe.
He who controls the spice controls the universe.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, and this is the Spice Lounge, where I have my friends come in and you guys in the chat come in, and we just let it fly with the spicy conversation and the hot takes on all things pop culture and beyond. I shouldn't say all things. Whatever we can fit into a 90-minute show. So I do have some friends in the back that I'm going to bring out in just a minute. But before we get started, folks, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you tell folks that we are here absolutely live. And I see you guys starting to filter in here. So before I bring all my folks in from the back, we're going to hit some hot topics. You're like, hot topics, what are those? Well, if you've ever watched the Wendy Williams show, she's like my consigliere, so to speak, when it comes to talk shows. If you've ever seen Wendy Williams, before she kicks off the show proper, she has got some hot topics. So of course, I have got 3 hot topics to drop by you guys today before we get the show started. So, first hot topic that I have, boom, Millie Alcock announced a star of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Warner Brothers Supergirl Women of Tomorrow is taking flight with House of the Dragon star Millie Alcock, the Hollywood Reporter has performed. She will star in the feature as Kara Zor-El, the cousin of Superman. Now, I honestly could really care less about Supergirl or Warner Brothers in general because I'm not a DC head, so I really do not have a dog in this fight. But I love Millie Alcock's performance in House of the Dragon. It was absolutely, absolutely off the freaking chain. So I am very happy that she has landed this role. Am I gonna watch this? Supergirl? I don't know. It's not really high on my list. However, this is one of those cases where I don't give a crap about the property that much. Don't care one way or the other, but I do care about when actors that I like are getting work. So props to you, Millie. Absolute props to you, Millie. Next thing in the hot topics, number 2. Universal Orlando Resort unveils Epic Universe Celestial Park, teases Harry Potter, How to Train Your Dragon Lands. Now, if you have been sitting under a rock and you have no idea what this is, basically Disney has come out and revealed just how behind the 8 ball they are. You know, Disney likes to taunt and say how they're the best, they're the greatest. Everyone's going to see what they want to have and keep going. But with this announcement, Universal Orlando was pretty much like this when Disney was agitating them. Trust me, Disney is worried. Very worried. This park is going to be off the chain. I have seen it rising from the construction points. A couple days ago, I saw Mount Beanpole unveiled, parts of where that Inn Resort hotel is going to be. It's freaking gorgeous. Looks out over lake. Yeah, I'm going to say is yeah. Disney. You're the hair, and Universal Orlando is pretty much the tortoise. Just going to tell you. All right, and for my last hot topic, and literally this one just dropped on Twitter not too long ago, breaking Disney First Amendment lawsuit against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis dismissed. Now, if you've been watching Illegal Mindset, or you've been watching That Park Place, or you've been watching videos from Culture Casino, or watching, what I've been saying on this channel, this is no surprise. This is the federal case that Disney figured they had First Amendment grounds to sue Ron DeSantis and the Central Florida Tourism District, the SIFTOD, whatever. But basically, Disney just got spanked by the federal court, basically saying, you really have no standing to sue Disney in federal court, because Disney forgot that property issues are a state thing, not a federal thing. So running to the federal government really didn't do anything, and pretty much DeSantis got the federal government to do this to Iger.
Oh, here's a key grip. Hit that director in the face really fucking hard. Oh, ow!
Yeah, that's pretty much Iger right now. His face is hurting. So that's it for the hot topics, folks. I hope you all enjoyed that. So I tell you what, let's bring our folks on the stage. First person I'm going to bring, I haven't seen him in a while. You guys have seen me on his show This Week in BS when he was running it. It was so much fun. He's retired from that particular game, so to speak, but he is back with me. Justin Proper, how are you, my dear?
Oh, I'm doing great. It is an honor to be here and to have it come full circle. I love it. It's so great. It's great to see you again, and you look fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, my dear. I have to laugh every time I see you. For folks who don't know the story, Justin is a big part of the reason why I'm on YouTube. There's lots of folks who peer pressure me into getting on YouTube, but a long time ago, I was on a stream on According to Christie's channel, way back in the day, and this guy pops on the panel. I'm like, Justin, I know that. I mean, I've seen him. I don't know really who he is, but this
What's
is
he
so
doing
cool.
here?
What's he doing here? I don't know. And Christy's
Well-
like, Justin?
And well, it turns out Christy posted the StreamYard link on Twitter as opposed to the link to the actual stream. So I just popped in and was like, hey, Christy, you posted the StreamYard link on Twitter, not the video. And she's like, again! Again! So it's happened multiple times. So that was really funny. And then I met the lovely Reina Creole. I was like, oh, who are you? You know what? Yeah, I like the way that you talk and you are intelligent. You know what? You should be on my show. It would be perfect. And she was basically like a recurring guest for like 3 years.
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
Oh,
And we had so
thank
many fun
you.
stories, and it was great.
We sure did. We sure did. With those stories, as soon as you bring one up, I'm like, I just have one question. Is it Florida Man related? Or guess
Yes.
what, Lorena? We saved this for you because it's Florida Man related.
Okay.
Oh, but I'm so glad that you
Yeah.
are here. And speaking of glad who we have here, I'm bringing back my regulars, Retro Nerd Girl and Culture Casino. How are you folks doing?
Good. Glad to be back.
Oh, well, glad to have you back. Culture, glad to have you back.
Yeah, I'm great actually, and Retro Nerd Girl has us covered from space, and it's great to see Justin here. He is wow, he's a story for both Lorena and I. So it's wonderful to see him. I've missed him very much. So
Well, thank you. And it's great that we have an astronaut on here. That's fantastic. I've only met being from Ohio. I should have met many more, but I only met Bill Shatner, and that counted for me. Yeah. So it's glad to meet too. And Culture Casino was actually on the last of This Week in BS, and because it was such a great story, I'm like, there we go. That's it. It came full circle.
I'm still kind of bummed. I mean, honestly, we had so much fun back in the day. Lorena's not stretching the truth at all, and I just always felt like this is the show to be on because Justin, believe it or not, is a YouTube talent scout. The guy can spot talent.
He sure is.
Yeah.
And I believe you said,
Yeah.
I believe the words you said, Culture Casino, on your last stream was, like this was like your way in, or it's like you knew that you were going to be all right if you were on his stream or something like that. Right?
Yeah, it is the truth. You were like the gateway drug to goodness on YouTube. So,
wow.
Oh man,
no, it's true.
I'm so humbled.
No, man, it's great to see you, and I'm glad Lorena has you on. But we have a lot to talk about. Do you see all the stuff Lorena popping off about?
My gosh, it was just like stop, just turn off the tap. So that's why we had to have the three hot topics.
There you go.
To like pop off, or else we were going to miss it because I have a show planned. But there's some things that come in, that we just need to talk about like really, really quick.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see, to kind of circle through some of these. Mark Daly, how you doing? Says the Tim script means the superior is going to stink even if this girl is good. And I think she will be.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, first of all, who's Tim King?
I don't know.
The comic book writer.
Yeah, former CIA knucklehead that really is one of the worst things to happen to comics, right? Retro Nerd Girl? Yeah.
Well, yeah, according to, I don't know personally, but from what, I keep my ears out there. That's what I heard, that it's not that good.
Wow.
And they don't have high hopes for that movie if they're going to model it right after the comics. So.
Yeah, he just doesn't have a good reputation. He likes to deconstruct and destroy male characters. So if Gunn's using him as like, the entry point to his understanding of DC, we've got some problems.
So he was with an alphabet agency.
Yeah. Oh, am I not allowed to say that?
Was he a desk jockey?
I don't know. I mean, he could have been a janitor for all we know. But
Okay, I have to make that joke because as someone who worked in intelligence, when people are like, "Oh yeah, I work for the CIA," I'm like, "Well, were you field officer CIA or desk jockey getting everybody else coffee kind of CIA?"
Mm.
You got to make that distinction. So I'm just curious. That just kind of piques my interest because you have some people who they get in those 3-letter agencies and they just hate on people who can't do the job that they wish they could do. So I'm just saying, I'll say that for another time. So I was just curious. No, you're allowed to say alphabet agency. I have to say that to myself so I don't purposely declassify some stuff. You know?
Gotcha.
When I hear that, yes, the U.S. government will watch me forever.
Maybe he was trying to work on one of his half-ass comic books while being a desk jockey and just sucked at both. Yeah. This is why when you're at work, you do your job and then you do that at home. No one needs that. It's not a good employee to have.
Nah. Dylan C says Disney lost the moment they went public with politics and did that war with DeSantis. Yeah, doesn't matter who says otherwise. Cough, cough. Jack from DSNY Newscast. Cough, cough, cough. Yeah, Jack's special. I'll leave it at that. Pixie dust is a hell of a drug. I tell you, respect it. Can't be sniffing too much of that pixie dust. I'm telling you, it's just
not too much.
Small doses, to kind of give you that, oh, it's a nice feeling as opposed to, oh man, I need another hit.
Just like injected intravenously, boom.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I need it. I don't care. I don't care who I have to run over.
I tell you what, the place to be, obviously, based on my Twitter feed, is Universal today. Did you see all the folks that were hanging out over there?
I did. I saw let's see, who did I say? I saw Valiant over there.
Yeah.
I saw him.
Yeah. He was lost, so Drunk 3PO was helping him out, helping him out.
Lost.
Yeah.
Lost in Universal?
Yeah.
Don't they have maps there?
I don't know.
I don't know, but well, let me say this in defense of my fellow Slytherin. If he was stuck in Borgin and Burks and Nocturne Alley, he wasn't lost. He was chilling. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, that's where the Slytherin like to hang out, and we uncannily find it on our own. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, he found it apparently and spent an inordinate amount of money, so good for him.
Yeah, that does it too. Plus, Slytherins will also buy everything pretty much. So it
sounds like a good time.
Hardly any Slytherin merchandise. Stop buying all the freaking merchandise. And last one before we get to our topic, Stieg. Another one from way back in the day. I remember when Stieg used to stream with some of us. Says, I am old enough to remember when the grifters told us there would be no more sequel trilogy Star Wars because Disney Civil War and that Favreau won. Well, some people got to make their hustle one way. Others make it the other way. But yeah, if you couldn't figure out that Disney wasn't getting off that sequel trilogy track, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Nah. It was so obvious Stevie Wonder could see it. Nah.
Yeah, they're gonna stick with it forever.
Yeah. You mean Disney's gonna admit they made a mistake?
Yeah.
What's that line? When monkeys fly out of my butt? I don't think so.
Even if they did realize that they made a mistake, they never know exactly what it is that they did wrong. They're not self-aware very much or able to decipher what people are actually saying. And yeah, that's the frustrating part. That's the part that's really frustrating.
Yeah, it's been going on for years, and they would not listen. It's both ignorance and just being stubborn. And it just, when you don't listen to people who have their concerns and they express it to you over and over again, and you just keep writing it off, that's on you to not learn a damn thing.
Yeah.
So.
No, but everybody's toxic though.
Yeah, and they blame the fans. That's the thing. It's just like if you would say, you know what, we screwed up royally. We're sorry to the fans. We're going to try and fix it. You should have went the Sonic route, you know. But Disney doesn't want to do that. And,
yeah, listen.
You know, now they're going to pay for it. Monkey Jeebus. Sorry. Yeah, the show is known for its hot takes. I will not apologize.
Monkey Jeebus, you might need an enema or something.
Or they are aware. Go watch the I call it the sizzle reel, but the official announcement for Epic Universe when the head honcho comes out. I'm forgetting his name, and he talks about Epic Universe. I'm not kidding. For a minute, for a split second, my brain thought that I was hearing Walt Disney when he's talking about the wonders of the park.
Wow.
And when they ask him, what's the next thing? You know, what are you excited about? He's basically the next thing. Just the way he talks about it and talks about listening to people and finding out what they wanted in a park and to give them, you know, that park. Go back and watch it. It's you just get shades of that in there. So I just thought that was cool. Well, let's see. We got 29 people in here, and yes, I cannot wait. Cannot wait for Universal. So glad you guys are here. Please do hit that like button. We're going to start off with Ghostbusters. The Frozen Empire trailer unleashes a full-blown army of ghosts on New York City. Now, the reason why I kind of pushed this one to the front, I hadn't been on YouTube when the whole thing with The Last Jedi popped off. I was kind of offline and was so pissed off about The Last Jedi. I didn't watch anything Star Wars for like a year. I was, not interested. Not interested.
Fun time.
I couldn't believe what I saw. Yeah, it looked like I missed a really, really cool party. I'm like, dang, I could have saved me some money between The Last Jedi and Solo. That would have saved me a whole freaking bunch of money.
I wish I had started uploading then. I just didn't have the confidence to. But I waited until later that year. But I totally get it, man. It was a lot of fun.
Looking at the videos, people were just having an absolute blast. But for me, the thing that really got me into it was Ghostbusters 2016.
Really?
The original Ghostbusters, I freaking love it. Ghostbusters 2, yeah, it's a cheesy parts of whatever, but I love the Ghostbusters franchise. I mean, I'm probably dating myself, but going to Universal and Culture, I don't know if they had this on the West Coast, or Justin, if you are a Retro Nerd Girl, you guys saw it. They used to have a Ghostbusters stunt show, complete with special effects. So when they crossed the screens, it looked like they crossed the streams. They had like a rendered Slimer and everything.
Wow.
That was literally in the show.
I don't actually recall that from my numerous visits there, so that's surprising, but that's awesome. That's awesome.
I never knew about that. They must have replaced it with Fear Factor, which is the first time I went to Universal. They still had a lot of the old rides. They had Back to the Future still. They had the Jaws ride still. But I don't remember a Ghostbusters show.
No, it was they did it at Universal Orlando. And I think this was right before the park officially opened. So they were doing technical rehearsals. So, okay, engineering nerd. I get to see like all this stuff, you know, that they were doing. Love the Ghostbusters movie. The best movie you could ever see to show you the dangers of ever encroaching government, so to speak. It's the other thing that's in there. Yeah. But with 2016, I'm like, why does this movie exist? Why is it all chicks? And why is it not funny?
Two of those answers are going to get me thrown off the show. But
no, honey, you're safe. I gave you a car. I gave you a pass. Remember?
Okay.
You're like, it's a pass.
They did not pick funny women. We're going to start there. They didn't work full time from a script. They let them ad lib. Also a major problem.
Oh yeah.
And 3, this film did not understand the heart and soul of Ghostbusters at all. It
Bingo.
didn't honor the source material or anything. The person they put in charge of it was Paul Feig, right? Different guy. And he thought, well, let's make this a slapstick comedy off the cuff thing because that works for me. No, that's not what Ghostbusters is about. So, I mean, I'm going to say this, going to get killed. These women were not funny.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
No.
And what's sad is like these women can be funny when they are like they're given good material, but the combination of them, the script was a big problem. And also, when I heard that they were going to have all the original cast in there, and then I heard, but they're not playing their original characters. I didn't go see it. I'm like, no. And then I saw the clip of Bill Murray getting thrown out of a window, and then they said, oh, he's not Ghostbusters material. That's not funny. That's insulting. Like, no, you don't do that to Bill Murray. And that was probably like one of the only laughs you could get in the film.
Yeah. I didn't hate the film, but that film should have been much better, much bigger than it was. And definitely a big part of it is that they did it completely wrong from the beginning. Number one, choosing to reboot. Second of all, the marketing for the movie was, we're all women, and anybody who doesn't like us are, basement dwelling guys that are they literally said that their grandmother supports them. Like, I was like, oh my God, what are you doing to your fans here? And then on top of that, when you watch the movie, it was okay. It was like, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't amazing. And most of the reason why it wasn't amazing, Paul Feig is really great at smaller films. He's not a big bombastic blockbuster kind of director. He's good at smaller comedies, more intimate comedies.
Like Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Oh, I freaking love Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
That is my guilty freaking pleasure to watch Bridesmaids.
Yeah, and then you have Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig, who are in the Ghostbusters, and they're funny as hell in Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
And you can't let your special effects do all the work for you. You have to have a story. You have to have a script. And it's okay if people do a little modification, a little bit of improvising, but the whole movie is. And so we're waiting for people to finish their monologues of jokes that don't even mean anything in the context of the film. And that was obvious and frustrating. As somebody who loves story, I mean, I'm sure everybody loves a good story. Why didn't we get the basics here? Like, the funniest thing in the movie was the guy who wasn't the comedian. What's his name? Chris Hemsworth was like the funniest thing in the whole thing. And he's just goofing off and being silly. And yes, like I said, it was okay. It wasn't the worst thing ever. I'll watch it, but honestly, it has no business being as bad as it was. It should have been thousands of times better.
Agreed. And I always say, to add on to your everyone likes a good story comment, I always have said story over aesthetic. If it looks like crap, it is a good story. The characters and the actors and what the characters are doing, they will take you through that journey for you, and that's going to be secondary. But you also mentioned the special effects that you said carried the movie. The special effects suck. They were awful. It's like they were made in 2004. Like, so literally nothing works in this film on any level, neither story nor aesthetic. So
and the reason why I said that was because they expected it to. They expected it to, the special effects now is going to be so much better than what it was in 1984. And we're going to do it all CGI. It's going to be better. And it all looked like Haunted House. Like, if you look at the Haunted House special effects for that movie, that was the movie done with Eddie Murphy. It's the
Haunted
same
Mansion.
Haunted Mansion. Thank you.
Okay.
Haunted
Okay.
Mansion, and also the Scooby Doo movie.
Yeah.
The same special effects. I'm like, guys, you can't pull this off.
I think you make a great point. I mean, because of how practical the effects were from the original film, I don't think I could have said it any better. The look and the feel is completely off. You were 100% right. That's why this last film worked, and that's why this next film's going to work, I think.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. With the original Ghostbusters film, you had that great story. You had actors who had comedic timing. I forget how many of them were on SNL at the time, but they had great comedic timing. They played off of each other. The Ghostbusters is more about the story of, the Ghostbusters themselves, not necessarily the ghosts. Of course, they're in there, but the ghost effects, they looked like ghosts. They moved like ghosts. They were ethereal. They spent the money to make it look as realistic or as scary, fantasy-wise as possible. But it wasn't done at the expense of story. That's why these characters are so well beloved. That's why we like to see them. That's what we expected as fans to get that. And we did it in 2016. And that pissed me off because I'm like, you mean to tell me I'm supposed to like this movie? I'm supposed to rah, 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 cheer this movie because it's got 4 chicks in it? I'm like, no. I watched that movie and I think I laughed maybe twice. Once 45 minutes into the movie, and I think another one was when Chris Hemsworth did something. Leslie Jones, she's okay, but it seemed like they tampered down her comedic timing for everyone else, and I'm just like, you don't know how to direct these people. I mean, Melissa McCarthy is funny. Wendy, I'm forgetting her last name, but she was in Reno 911. I freaking love her. She is absolutely hilarious. She was not in this movie, and she should have. Well, she wasn't in Ghostbusters 2016, and she should have been because she was absolutely freaking funny. But with Ghostbusters Afterlife, that was like a palate cleanser. It was like 2016, never happened. So many callbacks to what we loved about the original Ghostbusters movie. I mean, even to the point of with Paul Rudd's character, who I love, who's telling the kids, what, you don't know about the Ghostbusters? And he pulls up the footage on YouTube where you see them all going into the building. It's just like, how cool is that bridge between the old stuff and the new stuff? Which is why I'm so excited about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now, I saw a different trailer in the theater, but when I did, people were like flipping out. They was like, this looks so cool.
And it looks like this time around, they're actually going to feature the older cast in a more prominent role. I understood with Afterlife because we have to spend, some time with these new characters, learn to love them, learn to like them, and, kind of see what their journey is. And at the end of that movie, it's the only time I have ever shed tears at the end of any movie. I'm not going to say what happens. We all know, but yeah. So, but I think even though like, oh yeah, the Ghostbusters just, will just have a short cameo. I think they did that to establish that so we can have this movie.
Yeah, I actually didn't see Afterlife yet, so
I'm glad I didn't say anything.
Yes, thank you.
We
Thank you.
didn't spoil anything. No, we didn't spoil anything.
Hey, look, you do get to know the new characters very well. The family members, it all really does make a lot of sense. And in this particular trailer, have you seen the trailer, Retro Nerd?
Yes, I did.
Okay, the fact that you see so much joy in Bill Murray. In the scenes you see, it's otherworldly. It's like this guy is back doing something he loves to do,
and he's Venkman. That's the thing. I right away I was like, that there's Venkman. He's right there. The reason why we didn't get Bill Murray's been the holdup for a lot of the stuff to do with Ghostbusters, so he doesn't get off the hook. But I will say this: seeing him in this ad or this trailer is kind of shocking because I was like, oh, look, he looks like he's really into it this time. Whereas they really had to pry him out of the coffin, if you will, to get him to be in the 216 movie. I think it was a little bit easier for Afterlife, I believe, from what I heard, but it was, did not want to do a Ghostbusters 3 ever, because he had such a terrible time, or he did not like the way Ghostbusters 2 came out, hated that movie, and really didn't transition. Yes, isn't that cool?
I freaking love this transition. I mean,
and I love this scene in that movie. That was such a great scene. That was such a great. This is where they discover, oh, we could be facing the end of times. And wow, what great callbacks in that trailer. Love it, love it, love it.
Absolutely love it. You see, how many, can't tell you how many conventions I've gone to where they've had cars, out there, and the Ghostbusters replica is the one. Well, Ghostbusters and Batman. No, the 60s Batman.
Oh,
Batmobile.
yes.
Usually it's those two. If they're at a convention, people are like trying to get pictures, pictures with it. And this, oh my gosh. And then they bring this out. This trailer it's like this is what the fans want. Our characters, the characters respected that we know and love. And at the same time, give us a new story. Like I love this girl. Was it McKenna Grace? I think.
I believe so.
That's her name. Yeah. She plays Spangler's granddaughter. There are so many girls I know that are like her. Like her character, let's put it this way.
Oh,
like
in what way? Like that they're shy or like quirky?
That they're shy, that they're quirky, that they're very bookish. Because you remember Egon was the same exact way, where there's just certain social things that he didn't get, but he was, straight smart. He, like with Egon, he'd rather study. Yes, he's book smart. He'd rather study the periodic table, the elements, than go to the strip club. You know what I mean? That's kind of a difference when it comes to Egon, but we love him.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, he had like a spore collection. Love that about him.
Yes, I collect gold spores and buckets.
I was like, yes.
Wasn't that when like Annie Potts was low key flirting with him or something, or trying to?
Yeah, she's desperately trying.
And he just doesn't get it and is not receptive.
No, remember he was under the desk, and he comes over under the desk, and she's all like, and he just doesn't even get it.
It was kind of a bummer, and then of course, I'm not gonna spoil anything, so because Retro Nerd Girl has not seen the film, so but I have to tell you that there's a lot of great moments here. There are lots of romantic moments. There's the last film had a bunch of coming of age. Hopefully here we have fully developed humans aside from obviously the young lady here. I just want this to be as good as it possibly can be. What bothers me or worries me, because I'm going to be the downer here, the naysayer, guys. They showed too much. 2.5 minutes of a trailer is too long.
I agree.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I agree. We always get too much of these stories revealed instead of surprising us. But I think it's the fear of like knowing that the audience today is much more persnickety than we were before.
Wait, is that Dickless?
Yeah,
yes,
that is.
Yes.
Yeah,
that is him.
He went from being the EPA guy or whatever to now being the mayor. So
that is shoot.
that is a terrible. Yeah, you fail upwards.
Yeah, exactly. You fail up.
Yeah. So this movie already gets credit for being self-aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
think they
talking to in the beginning, and they're just there, blah blah blah. You did this, and minors out there. And I'm like, who the heck is talking to them? As soon as you see dude, it was like, okay, that explains it.
Right. The only one I didn't catch it in the trailer is podcast even in this movie. I don't know if I saw him in there.
I didn't see him unless he was
He's
the
in
back.
Okay, he supposedly is in the movie. I guess you just didn't see him in the trailer. I hope he doesn't just show up at the end.
I didn't see him because I thought about that too. I'm like, where's podcast? Because I liked podcast. We're not spoiling for Retro Nerd, but let's just say podcast is really cool in Afterlife. It's kind of neat how they brought him in. He's very much like Ray Stantz in a way.
Yes. Apparently, Jay had said it was his favorite character. He could relate to him.
Yeah, he was funny. Like, hey, want to be my podcast? Want to be my podcast?
It's like you're my one subscriber.
Yeah. The reporter from Die Hard. Yes, that's right. He was the reporter from Die Hard. He was.
Yeah, he was basically. There was so many cameos in Die Hard that had a similar relationship.
Yes. For example, Family Matters.
Yeah, Family Matters.
I still think that's canonical. Just saying.
Hey, Keely, how you doing?
Hi, Keely.
Yep, I remember that line. Oh my gosh, I saw this movie with like my parents. I'll sit there laughing.
It's really funny because that line, he says it and then he goes, "Well, so I heard." It's like so weird. It's like...
And you so did not see that line coming. At least that follow-up line. I did not expect that. That's great comedic timing.
Yeah.
To come out of nowhere with that.
All right, Kumail Nanjiani's in it, and he starts the plot, I guess.
I like that guy. I think he's
cool.
I
do too.
Yeah.
Who is he now?
Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh, from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle?
No, that's Cal Penn.
Oh shoot! Whoops, got mixed up.
Yeah, no, this guy is.
Have you learned nothing from Sam Jackson?
No, this guy was in Elemental and other failed projects.
Yeah, he hasn't found his groove yet. I don't think.
Okay,
is that what I said? Eternals.
Yeah, I waited an hour for him to show up, and they're still introducing new. He was about an hour into the film.
That movie in like 20 minutes. So yeah, I don't. Okay.
I was just waiting for him to show up, and it's just like we're still introducing people, and they're all boring.
I think you said Elemental.
Yeah, I'm like,
did I say Elemental instead of?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just
Sorry, I'm sorry. It's equally bad film. Yeah, The Eternals, Elemental, whatever.
Yeah.
Brain not working. Okay. Anyway.
Well, no, Elemental. I mean, in Eternals, so he needs a good vehicle. That's all I'm saying. I think he needs a good vehicle.
Oh, there's podcast.
He might want to get away.
Okay, I must have missed him then.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he needs a good vehicle, he needs to get away from Disney because they got broke ass vehicles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Run.
Oh yes. Solo
Run.
They got the old and busted. What you need is the new hotness. That's what.
Oh yeah.
From Van Wilder. Okay, I didn't see Van Wilder.
And he was in Kenobi as well. Yeah, he was in Kenobi.
Hang on a minute. What?
Which one? What? Which one?
He was in Kenobi. Podcast was?
No.
Cal Penn.
I don't know. Oh no, Kumail Nanjiani. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Was he the one getting shamed?
Maybe.
That might have been him.
I thought Van Wilder was Cal Penn.
That was Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, no, I know, but I think Cal Penn. Why are you doing this to me?
Oh, great. I'm sorry.
Culture-
I'm getting all my Desi's
Culture-
mixed up,
culture
and I
dot-
apologize for that.
Culture.exe apparently needs to reboot. I'm going, wait a minute now. What's happening?
But the important thing is, we found the scene with podcast in it. So
All right. He is in the movie.
he is in the movie. I would have been so disappointed if he wasn't in the movie. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Annie Potts is back. Ernie
Yes.
Hudgens back.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good seeing them.
Oh,
Dan
yeah.
Aykroyd.
My
Yeah.
favorite. My favorite was Ghostbusters. What do you want?
What do you want?
And she gets to put on a suit.
Yeah.
She gets to
I
put
know.
an outfit now.
Which is what we wanted. Although I would have loved to seen her zip up Egon in the suit, but
Yeah.
like she did in the original. No.
I'm glad that she has her own hair back instead of that wig they gave her for
Yeah.
part 2. That was to match up with the comic or with the cartoon, because
Mhm.
they changed her look in the cartoon.
Ew.
I love seeing these guys.
Yeah, they're the
I love them.
marshmallows.
I like them.
I like the
them.
baby ones. Yeah, they're so
Oh,
cute.
I want one.
I'm very upset
you
that
don't.
Walmart wasn't selling them. I was
Never
hoping
actually-
Walmart was going to sell them.
I've
They
never
did not.
once
They sell 'em.
actually seen a Stay Puft marshmallows in any store ever.
I haven't either.
I thought it was a made up brand.
Okay, so I need to go and get some so that you'll be happy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Stay
Oh,
Puft
they're really
Marsh-
nice.
Stay
Are you
Puft.
gonna bring
Stay
some
Puft
right now?
Marshmallow Man.
It was funny because I thought that he was the Michelin Man when I was really small.
I did too.
I was like, isn't that the Michelin Man? Or it could be what did they call the Mandela effect?
Yeah.
Well, no, I actually can see why you would think that. I mean, they have the same kind of body build, and perhaps they originally maybe thought of that as well because they were just waiting for somebody to write the bigger check. Nobody did.
Oh.
I just remember in French class, they were like, yeah, Michelin is actually French. We're like, Michelin, the Michelin Man, the one that looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, man.
Most wigs suck, trust me. Yeah. You have to pay out the nose for that. You could be the non-copyright infringement Michelin Man. That's funny. But to wrap this up, I'm really looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing this. I hope that it's good. I hope that they took a good amount of the fan feedback and took it even further. I just hope it doesn't suck, because when I was in the theater, which had a much shorter trailer to what Culture was saying, the trailer I think was like 45 seconds. It was not super long, but it was enough to make you think, oh my gosh, this is what's going to happen to people at the end of this. And I was there with Camera Girl, who's a 20-year-old art student. She wanted to see it. She's not a super huge Ghostbusters fan. She wasn't interested in Afterlife. She didn't know why I was excited about it. She did like the first one. She did like that. We sat there and watched that one. But when she saw the trailer for this one, she was just like, yeah, I think I want to see that.
Yeah, it looks like fun.
Yeah. So hopefully it will be. What say you, rest of the panel?
I want this to be good. I think I've been on record to say that. I'm not certain that I haven't seen the story before, because I feel like I've seen this story before, but I'm excited about it. And look, I mean, who doesn't like to be scared to death?
Yeah. There's but a couple of ways that they can go. I mean, in order to be good in many ways, it's got to be something familiar. But I feel like they just really have to nail the emotional element, because they did it the last time, according to what I've heard from everyone. They got that emotional element. They have to just hit it out the ballpark again. and don't kill everybody just because you want to. You know what I mean? Don't kill our favorite characters because that would be annoying. Just come up with a good story, please.
You can kill Peck though. We don't care about that.
Oh yeah.
He's gotta go. He's gotta go out. Like, if you do that. Okay, let me see. I'm getting something from the back.
I'd like to say a few words about your arrest record. What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
I'm going over. I'm going over. Wrap it up.
I love it.
Oh, what is
I'm excited. There.
Yeah.
Cautiously optimistic. I definitely am. I want to see it in IMAX for sure. All right. Well,
yes.
Yeah.
Never seen a movie on IMAX.
You got to do that, dude.
I'll do it for this one. Absolutely.
You gotta trust me. I mean, you'll whine, kvetch, and complain about how much the upcharge is, and then when you start hearing the sound and stuff, you'll forget you spent the money. When the movie's good, let's put it that way. You trust me.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's certain films you have to see, like Godzilla -1 had to be in IMAX.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't have an IMAX close to me. I would have to drive someplace where I have to pay like $15 to park. So I didn't go, but I went to like an RPX upgrade. Oh my gosh. It was like Godzilla stomping around and the floors moving at the same time. I'm like, this is freaking cool. This is so cool. All right. Well, we will go from, let's see. We've got to do this one now. This Daisy Ridley denies Star Wars fans are sexist, blown out of proportion. Now, for those of you who are not aware, last week, apparently Rolling Stone wrote a hit piece on Star Wars theory. There's no other way to put it. That how dare he have this guest on his channel who basically, you know what? I love it when I have tape. This is what she said.
Do we need more women in Star Wars? No, we don't. No one. Women don't even watch Star Wars. They don't even care about it. It's a man's little thing. Let them have it.
Now, how dare theory not push back on that, according to the Rolling Stone, basically saying he's misogynistic. He should have told his guest X, Y, and Z. When in reality, it's just like, man, we are freaking going to get canceled as soon as this clip gets out. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous. The DEFCON 5 freak out that people had on Twitter, sending theory, TikToks of this is me and my Star Wars cosplay and Star Wars is for women. It's like, well, half of nobody said that it wasn't.
And you know what's funny? I can't believe. Can you imagine? The Hollywood Reporter is telling a Star Wars theory to tell a woman what to think. Go figure.
Yeah.
What the hell's with that? Explain that. Explain how you're championing women by telling them what to think and what to feel and what to say. Unbelievable.
It's just freaking atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was nuts. But you know what? The Today Show, which I love Universal, but y'all really need to get rid of that Today Show cafe because their hot chocolate is ass. I'm just saying, no. But anyway, it is. Everything else is good, but your hot chocolate looks like, you know how when motor oil gets clogged and that's pretty much what.
Hey, take it easy on these people on this show. I mean, they're doing the best they can, Lorena.
Yeah, best they can. Yeah.
Oh, wait, you were talking about the actual hot chocolate.
Yes. Yes, I was.
Yeah. Not this terrible Today Show or whatever.
No, it's not the hot chocolate's fault. It was sitting in the back. And
okay.
Finally decided to bring it out. But yes, so here we have the Today Show talking to Daisy Ridley. Now,
this is great.
Pay attention to the lovely talking heads here on the show.
Speaking of, if you're here, we've got to talk Star Wars, of course. It was announced earlier this year. There's a new film coming out. It's called,
Fair use, YouTube.
A New Jedi Order, I believe. What can you tell us about it?
I was thinking about this last night. I was like, something happens with someone.
That's so funny.
I actually haven't read a script yet, but the story I've been told is fantastic, and I'm there. I'm in it.
Daisy, that's a really good answer. Good job. Oh, your publicist, your whole entourage, they're all smiling.
That's it?
You notice she's like, I haven't seen a script yet, but I heard the story and it's awesome. Not that I blame her for saying that, because that's the diplomatic thing.
That's that's her job.
To say, yeah.
That was the correct thing to say. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm not trying to get
all you
fired
can
yet.
It's
Till I cash that check.
I'm getting warm. It's a very worthwhile story, and I think Charmine's going to do an amazing job.
That's so Speaking of Charmine, I just have to ask, because there are some of the, I'd say, extreme Star Wars fans who have made this.
We're extreme Star Wars fans, y'all.
Extreme? We're just fans.
Well, I don't know. I feel very extreme.
I mean, I'm extreme enough to go to Celebration, I guess. If that's extreme, like,
I go to extremes sometimes.
Yeah.
I can be, kind of extreme, passionate in how I love the original trilogy,
Well, let's just say that it hasn't been extreme yet. I mean, the reaction to Last Jedi, that was extreme.
But was it undeserved?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see the movie, so I heard
Last Jedi.
Unfortunately, I have to at some point, but yeah, I've been avoiding that mess after seeing the first of the sequel, which I absolutely have. Oh, okay.
Girl.
Anyway, this lady is setting her up. She is actually setting her up to fail at this point, which is horrible. She's already trying to put words in her mouth. And that's the part that's really angering about this particular scene. But we caught them red-handed, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
She wasn't even asking the right question.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're going to ask that sort of thing, like it's not... Yeah, I guess she was referring to the response of Charmine, whoever she is, the new director of this movie. And I was like, oh, well, there is, if you're going to do that, there's other things to hit on. And I think the rest of the question kind of proves it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Red-handed.
I think these are the ones who... And they hang around on Twitter, they have the back channel conversations. They have their interns with their whole job is to basically monitor people's Twitter feeds to see, what they say. But rather than talking about Charmine in general, about how good of a director she is, they decide to go this way. And as Retro Nerd Girl caught them red-handed and they're slick because they didn't say toxic fans.
Yeah.
They didn't use that word, but they used extreme instead. It's important to pay attention to the nomenclature that's used when they do this.
Made this a conversation on the internet about how they don't want a female director, which seems bizarre because
I haven't heard anybody say that.
Yeah, Retro Nerd, what's the panel think about that? Is it that we didn't like her because she was a woman?
I have seen a lot of criticism about that lady, but never have I heard that it was about her being a female. It was about the things that she said in relation to how she wants to treat men, her male fans of this franchise, and that's what I heard. I did not hear anyone ever say, oh, we don't want that female director. This is absolutely making up a story here.
Well, I mean, she is female.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I'll show you. Yeah, she's female.
Yeah, see,
Charmin
yeah,
Obeid Chinoy. Yes.
See, it's like a half truth. Like, oh yeah, it is a female. They don't want her, so it's because she's a female, or just construct it to your delight. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, this is confirmation bias they're fishing for, right? They want you to make that natural assumption that, oh, it's because she's female that people don't want her. No, it's because she's an extremist that makes pretty garbage, content when she's been given pop culture opportunities. If you look at, the things that she was involved in with Marvel already, which was a TV show.
Yes.
Outside of that, her documentarian responsibilities were pretty much all activism driven and paid for in large part by NGOs or governments. So she's not really built anything on her own merit. You can say lots of flowery things about her documentary work, I'm sure, but she came out and started throwing fire before she even had this thing, anywhere close to filming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, what she said specifically is that she wants to terrify men. She wants to I could pull up the exact quote.
That's horrible.
Well,
yeah,
she wants to make men uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
Yes,
That was the
feel
word.
uncomfortable, and to basically say, I am here. Notice
Mm-hmm.
me. I'm like, Heifer, listen, if you have to say something like that, that's a self-esteem problem on your part, because I've met female activists from the Middle East, not crazy whacked out activists. I mean, we're talking women who put themselves on the line for, young girls to be able to go to school. I mean, these are people who they're like, this is the cause that I'm concerned and I'm worried about the people, not worried about what it is that I look like. And they make it known, you will respect me. They make it very well, very well known. And she talks to who was that knucklehead she was talking to? Was it oh my gosh, one of those failed late night people, whoever she was talking to, and she says, "Oh no, I don't mean you." I'm like, yes, you exactly mean him. Who she was talking to. She's like, yeah, you were talking to him. Exactly.
When you say comments like that, you mean every man, meaning little boys that happen to share the same space as little girls. So what do you intend to do in our society? Are you just going to prop up girls? Who is propping up little boys? I mean, where are we getting the support and the love and the inclusion for little boys? I'm just saying, generally.
No, you're 100% right, and I think I just heard
Not fair.
this guy. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I just say, my whole thing in this whole thing, if you really want things to be fair and equal, you got to stop this whole everything must be female thing and try to share. Can you share the space with other people? It just seems very awkward to me.
Yeah, and the way she phrases it, it's like me, and I don't like that attitude, that self-righteous behavior. That's not my cup of tea. I don't like people like that. There's a certain word that I use for people like that, and I'm not going to say it on here. But what I will say is that the rest of the question, the interviewer is asking Daisy Ridley. I'll get to that when we get to that. But
yeah, but the kind of add onto that, one of the things that bothers me about this chick. Okay, have you ever heard Deborah Chow talk like this? Have you ever heard Bryce Dallas Howard talk like this? No, because they actually have a cinematic resume. Anyone with a camera and enough funding can make a documentary. Documentaries are nothing like cinematic films, and I'm really getting sick and tired, and I'm hoping Nelson Peltz will talk about this, giving these people blockbuster film money to make crap because you want to check what you think is a diversity box. That's a slap in the face to women who've been working in Hollywood and producing films and, directing films for decades.
I even think that within the field of looking for someone in the diversity field, if they were looking for that person, I think they would do better to find somebody with an experience in a field that was closer than the documentary style. There are action filmmakers out there. There are horror movies, women filmmakers out there. The choice is so strange and unusual. I'm kind of thinking you get this person who's used to doing documentaries, which is really low budget filmmaking, and there isn't a whole lot. You're not dealing with a lot of special effects. If there's any, it's very basic. And we're talking about a movie that will have major special effects, going to require so much knowledge in the field of action, and just like lighting spaces that may not even exist. And so how is she she has to learn all that stuff.
Well, she's going to be depending on
the crew,
everyone else, the crew, the second unit, reshoots, stuff like this. This is like with Eternals. Okay. Hadn't heard of that director before. She'd done some short film that no one knew about. Really. I hadn't heard about. This seems to be something that Disney does, and Retro Nerd Girl, you were talking about, it's like, why do they hire someone like this? From what I've seen in Hollywood, they would much rather work with someone that they, quote unquote, know sometimes. And with this case, she goes from Ms. Marvel to a Star Wars film. It doesn't make logical sense.
Yeah.
But in Disney sense, it's like, yeah, she checks the box. Sure, she can do it. We got plenty of you people to help her out.
They would do themselves a huge favor by getting a director, not just anyone, but like it could be like it could be a male, could be a female, whatever, but a director who knows how to stretch the budget and make it look cinematic and have it be passable as a movie. A perfect example, this is a guy, but Damien Leone, who made the Terrifier movies. The first one he only spent like 40 grand. Second one, 250 grand. That's a guy who knows how to work with what he's got. You need someone like that, and to give them a bigger budget, they already know what it's like to work on a small budget. To expand on that, yeah, that's the kind of person that you would want. Somebody who knows how to do that and to use their resources, not have an agenda. That's pointless.
But even at this point, she still looks like some lady that they picked, because where? Because we're talking about the next big Star Wars tentpole movie. We need a name director on this. If I was working as in the place of like trying to figure this out, that would be the first thing. Who's going to be the director? That's got to be a big name. You got to go through the catalog and find someone who can make a big film. And right now, she's just some lady. Like what?
So you're not inspired by her.
No.
Her filmography.
Oh no. I'm I'm trying to figure out how is she going to learn how to make this kind of movie in time.
Well, okay. So Disney likes to cast directors. They think that they'll have enough guidance provided that they'll be able to push them through whatever project they have, because they don't really value that talent. They don't value that as a resource. They don't think they don't think for what they do, which is very cookie cutter, it's necessary.
Yeah.
So if you step back and look at it, they're very formulaic. Even these Star Wars films, despite the fact that they had to go through so many reshoots and everything else. There's still a formula to them.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't ever really have any form of resolution. Even the last Star Wars film and the most recent sequel trilogy, which I'm just going to call the Disney sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Nice.
They didn't feel really resolved. Nothing felt settled. There wasn't satisfaction in the ending. And I think that they do that purposefully because they think that they can drag these things, their dead bodies along, and just keep filming these things. So Disney is very efficient at beating a dead horse, beyond its its tissue, sinew, whatever you want to call it. They'll beat the dead skeleton, then they'll beat it into dust, and yeah. So I feel very bad that Daisy's out here tap dancing.
Yeah.
Because every single report that we've had consistently, and correct me if I'm wrong, has been that there's no script yet. Then even the scripts that they've seen aren't ones that they're satisfied with. So she has no idea. She was given what we call coverage or a treatment outline verbally. She wasn't even given a piece of paper that had that information on it, according to her.
Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
it's the guy who's the writer for Peaky Blinders, right?
Who knows? That was just a name that was a name they announced, Lorena. I'm getting to the point now where I believe they just announced a name that's available, that they said, "Hey, we're going to send you something that see if you're interested in this." If this isn't a contract. This is just it's just a deal. Here's some deal points. Let us know what
just
you
putting
think.
it out in the ether. I'm like, Peaky Blinders. I mean, granted, I love Peaky Blinders. That freaking awesome series. But I'm just like, that doesn't seem to track. And now when she says, well, I haven't seen the script, but I heard the story is, okay.
Or directed by females. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy has been overseeing all of this. So, what is your
Like Kathleen Kennedy is doing.
That's what I wanted to get to, because she just is like, oh yeah, Kathleen Kennedy's here. Then we've had Mandalorian directors, and I'm like, yes, and people gave Kathleen Kennedy a lot of shit. This woman did not do her research. She is not even aware of the Pandaverse that came out from South Park. That was very recent.
You mean like this?
Kathleen Kennedy is all like, put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more fucking lame.
Yeah, she is not even aware of what she's talking about. She thinks that this is an isolated incident or something. If you wanted to go for that, you should have mentioned Kathleen Kennedy and how people were criticizing her. So she didn't even know what she's talking about.
Yeah, these are notes that she's been programmed to say.
Programs.
Yeah, literally. I like that term, programmed. Yes.
It is. It's a program.
Yeah, so when all the reps right there, they're like, don't say anything bad about Kathy, otherwise Daisy will get the can.
We don't want to upset the talent, okay? We've had this discussion before. That's the producer in the back telling that.
Yeah, the prep
Be
work.
very careful.
Yes. Be careful, but still ask. But be careful how you ask.
I think my take is things get blown out of proportion, and the interactions I've ever had with people have been nothing but wonderful and supportive. And honestly, the day we announced that I was coming back at Celebration last year, you cannot imagine the joy and goodwill in that room. So,
well, I would say this: it was a stacked room.
Yeah.
Those are going to be your hardcore Disney sequel trilogy fans. So, of course, they're going to give you a very welcoming.
How dare you? How dare you suggest that those people have an affinity towards Star Wars?
Shame on me.
But look, I'll say this because I mentioned this in my earlier today. I'm going to give Daisy so much props and flowers for being very classy and getting through this without, deciding to side with, I don't know what to say about the fans. She stuck to being classy at this moment. She knows that the fans are everything. The fans are everything. So don't speak negatively about the fans. and she did pretty good. I thought she did try as hard as she could to try to not stand up for the fans and say, hey, it's being blown out of proportion, which it is. It honestly is. So
Yeah. Culture better not hold back that culture rant. That's why I got him on the show.
I'm just careful. Look, I want to say this, and we've now had two sides of Daisy Ridley, being portrayed out in the media. She says all the right things on television. She is not going after fans. She's doing the polar opposite of what they're trained to do, or had been trained to do at Disney, and that's to her benefit. She's doing herself a solid here, and. So. Having the people there at the Today Show or wherever it is, wherever you have talking heads trying to instigate her into saying something just silly. I mean, that's so commonplace that I props to her for dodging the traps. The problem is that it doesn't matter what she says. They're going to take whatever she says and take it out of context. I mean, honestly, that's something that happens on the daily. And I think, Retro Nerd Girl, you're keenly aware of this. I know Justin is. He's been talking about it for 4 years that I've known him. And, Lorraine is the one that points it out to me sometimes, that, oh, yeah, this is, and, she does great videos on the fact that the media is just always spinning this garbage the wrong way. So, again, you can't spin this. We're showing it to everybody. So there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I like video.
Yeah, we saw her try to manipulate the conversation to those fans are just so toxic, and have a media storm come after this actress, and a lot of times that's what they're set up. They're set up to take the punches, and while also this actress has just said this horrible thing. We're getting publicity, guys, for our movie, and it's unfortunate because it always backfires, because usually people are just saying, look, this is we don't want this toxic stuff. If anything, we don't want people to go support people who hate us. And so Daisy has won some brownie points with the fans.
Yeah. Props to Al Roker for not saying a damn thing.
Exactly, because
Oh, dude has no clue if what day it is, let alone whether or not he's going to say the right thing about the weather. So
he's like strung out. Yeah, he's strung out on a Ozempic.
I feel bad. Wow, holy cow! You hit harder than
I've heard
did.
about that thing. I've heard of it.
You hit harder than I did. Woo-hoo.
Sorry about that.
You said it before I did. Let's put that way. That's even better.
I wanted to forget about that, but thanks for the reminder.
Sorry.
No, as a fellow Ohioan, I kind of like Al Roker, so.
No, I like him too. I do. I grew up with him. I'm like most people did, but he's really
my great grandparents grew up with him. Yeah, he's been around a while.
Oh man.
Oh dang, Al. Anyway, but yeah, that's props to Daisy for doing this. It is in her best interest to basically say this. I think it's been blown out of proportion, to kind of keep it like that, because it's very obvious, like you guys on the panel have been saying, all the talking heads up there on the stage, just like, can't wait till she says something, say something about those toxic fans. And what was really the point? I'm saying this rhetorically. What's the point of bringing the fans up in that anyway? What do the fans have to do with this vaporware movie that's coming out? Why bring that up?
The other part about it is that why are we asking her these questions, and it's not even concerning what she's actually there to promote?
Okay, so wait, Lorena just gave us a title we can use on anything announced from Lucasfilm now. Vaporware, the movie. I'm so excited for this. Because how you digging that Ruin Johnson trilogy? You liking that so far? Vaporware 1, Vaporware 2, Vaporware 3. The trilogy. Yeah.
What happened to Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie?
Vaporware the movie.
Don't get me started on that guy. I knew he was crap with Thor Ragnarok. I walked out of that theater. No, that is a true story. Out of the El Capitan, the Disney theater.
Dang.
I was that mad. Lorena, you know the area. I went across the street to go to Cabo Wabo. That is not a joke. That is a true story.
Oh, man.
Dang.
Yeah, he's always been crap.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I think we'll have to keep a Vapor Wars scorecard. What happened this week?
Yeah.
Is it Vapor? Are they actually starting to do something? What's going on? I mean, I haven't seen any hype at all about this new vaporware Star Wars movie. I haven't seen anything.
Everybody, I mean, from what I've been watching, as far as even the biggest fans, the biggest people who are, there's one guy that is like completely in love with Star Wars, and even he's like, oh, this might not be so good. I was like, wow. So I've been hearing that it's even with diehard fans, this isn't the one, but there's a lot of hope for the Mandalorian movie, which I'm also very, very uncertain is going to be good.
I am quite worried about that. That'll be a different show, but yeah, I feel you. I want it to be good, but considering what happened with season 3, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, Retro Nerd Girl, you said even the hardcore fans were like, I don't know about this. Well, it's because we've been here before. We've been here before so many times, and most of those projects got canceled. This is just a repeat. This is a recurring theme that happens at Lucasfilm, and the fact that they haven't learned their damn lesson is just.
Yeah, they're making the same mistakes. They don't have a script, and if they do have a script, it's under wraps, which I think is customary for like a really big blockbuster movie. But I think at this point, with all of the weirdness that's going on, at least let the girl look at the script, at least a copy of it, and give her some, that should be like number one. But everybody's like, hey, Star Wars movie, I'll just join. I don't care. I don't care about the script. And that's what's another problem with this. Actors don't even get a chance to look at the script before they get to actually perform it. And they sign up for this junk.
I'm with you, but how about the times, and this should be fun. How about the times when they don't even have a script and they are asking actors to do things?
Improvise all the way through.
It's happening right now. That's the new Captain America film still doesn't have a script, and they're shooting.
The reshoot.
That's for real. That isn't even a rumor. That's for real.
Yes.
That is.
I found out this morning. Yeah, about that.
Hot garbage.
And Blade is like, what is it, like 2-3 years they haven't really figured out the script?
Okay. Start on Blade.
Okay, 2015. 2015 we started on the Blade project, right? And they hosed around Blade. They hosed around Wesley Snipes, who is Blade. You cannot replace Blade. It's Wesley Snipes. It's always Wesley Snipes. Anyway, they wanted to replace him and give him like a Whistler role or whatever, according to the stuff in the background. They're on their 6th script. I thought it was 5th. I reported it yesterday on Mr. H's Hcast, but I was wrong. They're on their 6th script. It's being co-written by 2 people. And then, despite the fact that they have announced the person that's working on it, then, okay, now we're also into in Star Wars. Let's get it back to Star Wars. In Star Wars, you have the Lando Calrissian project.
Oh, that's still happening?
Yeah, that's actually being co-written by Glover and his brother now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew about that.
And there's no progress on that anybody is aware of. So it is, I'm telling you, Disney is the hot garbage studio you do not want to say yes to. So to your point, retro nerd girl, don't accept the role if you don't see a script.
Yeah, no, it's
not the way it
guaranteed to
works.
ruin your career.
No script, no script. I'm not
Yeah,
talking about it.
even yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we got one more top.
I'd like to say a few words about your arrest record. What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. Last point that I want to get to, and I do want to bring this up because this goes back to giving the fans what they want. And even when you give the fans what they want, don't expect them to come back and piss them off in the first place. And what I'm talking about, of course, is Masters of the Universe Revolution. Now, unfortunately, I watched Revelation. We know that was a bait and super switch. That whole series was ass. As someone who watched He-Man and all of that, I was not happy, as were a lot of other fans who didn't particularly like it, which is, well, you got this garbage. I don't really trust Rotten Tomatoes, but I do. This is pretty darn accurate.
That is accurate.
Critics freaking loved it. Fans were just like, what the heck is this? What?
They were just boasting, oh, it is 100% fresh. And then one critic's like, nope.
Yep. Said, I don't think so.
And it was at 71. Now it's at 54. Wow.
Oh no. This is for Revelation, the first one.
Revelation, but I find it funny because the artwork that they're showing, this is not for Revelation. This is the artwork for Revolution.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is Revelation. Okay, this is Revolution.
Gotcha.
This is the new one that came out.
Yeah.
Where no, there wasn't any queer baiting, there wasn't any straight baiting. You got payoff when it came to the heterosexual relationship. Let's put it that way. With Revolution, it appears that Kevin Smith had a come to Jesus meeting with Netflix. You guys remember about not too long after Revelation, Netflix was axing animation projects.
Oh yeah.
Left and right. Because the difference is so stark between how Revolution is, and it's really good, 5 episodes. I think the come to Jesus meeting had to happen. Because there's just no freaking way, considering how lousy Revolution was, how butched up Tila was, how emasculated Prince Adam was. Yeah, He-Man getting prison shanked twice, not once, twice. And then you have Skeletor basically getting it on with Evil Lynn. I'm like, I cannot freaking believe this is what you people did. Awful. Now you bring up Revolution, okay? Literally from the beginning. It's not Citizen Kane. No, it's not. But if you've watched the original show, it actually has callbacks to the original show. Some things from the comic books. When you're watching it, I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready to,
I can't wait to see it.
Punched in the face. Tell me, great, go back and, Teal's gay or something like that. No. The women in here actually look feminine. Okay. Andra, who had the really, really butch looking cut, she's got a short cut, but it's very cute. And her features are more feminine, as in all the women are in this. Adam is not a punk. He-Man is definitely not a punk. And oh my God, positive family dynamics.
Ooh.
And the whole thing about fathers and sons. And I will give a short spoiler here. You basically get to see the king fight with He-Man, his son, against Scarecrow.
I need to see this immediately. After we're done, I'm just gonna run and go see it.
I'm watching it for the second time. I did. I really did it. I really did enjoy it.
What?
Here's the thing that's going to take away from that enjoyment. There's a 3rd installment that's coming.
Ugh.
And I've told people, I'm just like, look, it's Kevin Smith's fault and whoever associated with that abomination of Revelation, if you do not want to watch this, I don't blame you one bit, because they screwed it up. They sold you a bill of goods to begin with. So I don't blame you for not wanting to watch it. However, should you want to risk a watch, I feel that it's worth entertaining and it's worth watching. But I am very skeptical of the third installment that's going to come out.
Yeah, because I grew up with Masters of the Universe. I was actually talking about it the other day in great detail. It was one of my favorite shows to run home from school and go and sit down and watch. And and I wasn't supposed to watch it before I did my homework, but I I watched it and then hurried up and did my homework before my mom came home. It was one of those things where I just had to watch every single day what was going to happen with the Masters of the Universe. Now, I did see Kevin Smith's, the first one of Revelation. I didn't hate it, but I only liked it because it had the visual aid of almost looking like the original. It had a lot of those motifs and things, and but the story was totally jacked up. And so I was like, it was sort of like, looks great, wasn't great, should have been amazing. But when looking at this, I'm very, I thought, well, maybe I'm not sure if I'm going to like this. Is it going to be like the last one where it has the look that I'm looking for in a He-Man story, but is it going to fail with the story? And is it going to, like the last one had pacing issues? We had things that were recycled over and over and over with Tila storyline. And I was like, okay, the first time you showed it to me, I got it. You don't have to show it to me 3 times. And so there were a couple of episodes that had no factor on the outcome of the story. And so it wasted a lot of time. So that was another reason why I'm like, I'm not sure I'm ready to sit down and watch, whatever episodes of this at this time. But after what you just said to me, I'm actually really excited to take a look at it. So yeah, I'm one of those people who are like, I don't know, I'll wait.
Thoughts, Justin? Culture?
I've never seen Masters of the Universe.
No.
You know what?
It's okay.
Don't spoil it.
The most I had was a Skeletor toy. That was, and I didn't even know who he was. So
yeah, don't spoil it with this. Let me just tell you that. Look, I already knew that this was going to, all of these were going to be hot garbage because you put Kevin Smith in charge of it. Second, I knew it was going to be hot garbage. I knew it was going to be hot garbage because they went with the naming convention of each of the parts. The minute you start to do that, you're reminding me of the Divergent series that got canceled before they got to part 3. And it's like when I look at stuff like that, I'm like, and then I just have to recall back to what they did to the Matrix with what that ended up being. So
I refuse to see the third one.
So all in all, this should, all of those things should have been assigned to everybody, but in just watching one episode, I can't even say that. In just watching a little bit of the beginning of the show that Kevin Smith tried to force upon us, I knew this was bad. And I think everybody knew it was bad. I don't know. I'm glad you decided to suffer it. No, I'm not. I feel bad for you that you decided to suffer it, Lorena. But I have a feeling that if there is a third part, it will return to terrible form because that's just how things work in Hollywood.
And that's exactly my feeling. No, you don't. It's like don't feel. It's like don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. I had my stuff in there that I wanted to see. I got my Adam Tila ship that I got to see. So I'll be completely transparent. I was all in with that. That was my thing. But the back of my mind is, they have a third part coming up. Why am I feeling like they're going to
Oh
completely
boy.
F it up? Like to say, hey, here's what we're going to do to, try to bring you guys back and
Yeah.
have it work. But I will tell you this much, I'm not 100% back. I'm morbidly curious,
Do
which is
you
why I watched Revolution.
do you think that is it possible? Is it more like Kevin said might be just kind of getting in on his own hype, and then like, okay, yeah, now you can go back to do whatever you want. It's just and not learning anything from the first time around. Is that a concern?
Yeah.
Well,
Because
oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Retro Nerd Girl. Go. You go ahead.
Well, I love the history of this because I kind of watched it all come down, and I was like, I was just sort of like, let's see what's going to happen here. So they announced that, and he announced with such great excitement about the first season, Revelation. It's like a dumb name. Sorry. And
it is.
it is dumb, yeah. And then I was like, oh, okay, this sounds like it's cool. Kevin Smith and I are the very same age. So I was like, oh, so he must have watched it too. And he really, oh my God, this is so great to have an actual fan of the show, make a series. Well, comes to find out, he actually was not a big fan of He-Man. He thought it was corny and didn't really enjoy it that much. Netflix came to him and said, well, you're the kind of nerdy guy who could pull this off. And in many aspects, they had the right idea. They just didn't understand that when somebody doesn't like a franchise, usually they try to change it to the way they want it to be. And ignore all the things that fans really adore about it. They don't get it. And so that's where I think they made their first mistake and why he wasn't the right person initially. Now, leading up to this whole thing, people were saying there were leaks, and the leaks is exactly what kind of said, hey, somebody on the inside said, hey, this story isn't going to be about Adam. It's going to be all about Tila. And people were like, what?
Oh, let me interject real quick here. Clownfish TV was right. And Kevin Smith still owes Clownfish TV an apology because Clownfish TV were the ones who brought up, okay, we got this inside information. It's a rumor. And Kevin Smith is all on Twitter losing his crap about, not let the top fit. It's not going to happen. Blah, blah, blah. Pretty much lied about it. And that's the thing.
Yeah, it was his retaliation. And instead of remaining silent about it, or saying, just not saying anything about it would have probably been the best thing. He had to make a statement, and all of his statements were very accusatory, and it really left a bad stink on the project. So people they were like, okay, if we see this, it better not have Tila be the main person because he denied it. And also,
up and down.
Yeah, he said it was very emphatic that it wasn't going to be about Tila. Well, you get into episode 3 and you realize, wow, this is about Tila. This whole thing is about Tila, and it is really very upsetting that he would lie like that, and also like just don't respond to it. Like, it's bad, there was a leak. And usually you like to keep those things under wraps, but when it comes out, you can't go around trying to patch up the holes. You can't go around like pretending it's not real when it was exactly how they reported. They were absolutely correct in what they reported, and he, it was sort of, we lost the trust we had in him at that moment, and it was just videos upon videos about videos dogpiling on Kevin Smith, like, what in the world? And then he came out crying, and it was like, oh my God, what is this? What is going on? And when you finally do watch this whole thing, you're like, oh wow, what a huge mess. And all could have been avoided if you did like what Daisy just did in the video that we just saw, was be graceful about the whole thing. Allow the fans to speculate and do the things that fans do and shut up. Just let them have fun with it. That's what it's there for. All that information, all the stuff that we get leaked, that's for us to play with. Don't try to muscle your way to try to protect that. It's not going to work. So, yeah. I thought that was all incredible. We're still feeling the results of that to this day. There are still people who will never watch anything from him. He lost fans permanently. And it seems like everything he puts out now, even his other works that he does, is just people, they're not interested anymore.
Oh yeah, like Clerks 3. I was like, after all that crap that he did with Revelation, I'm like, no, I'm not freaking watching that. And Clerks is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
He's made one good movie, and it's called Tusk.
I've never heard of that one.
Oh, I saw that
It is
one.
a classic with Johnny Depp and Justin Long. Oh, and the young kid from The Sixth Sense. Oh, you got to check it out.
Is it better than Dogma? Because I freaking love Dogma.
I love Dogma, yeah. Dogma, Chasing Amy, Clerks 1 and 2 were actually really good. But the other stuff is I even like Jay and Silent Bob's Adventure, the first one. I
Jay
like
and
that.
Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah, Strike Back, yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Culture, tell us what
Tell us how you feel.
Tell us.
Kevin Smith made 2 good movies. That's
Okay.
it.
What were they?
Dogma.
So one.
Zach and Miri make a porno.
Oh,
I didn't see that one. So.
Okay.
I'm not even sure he made that movie. But
I'm not sure either.
He may have just stamped his,
yeah, I've never seen that one.
credit on it. But
Well,
to get back to, sorry, go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I got to shush it because we were supposed to be already like wrapping it up. I keep getting those video clips in my head now. It's going to be there forever. Wrap it up.
Freaking love that. I'll wrap it up and to kind of answer Retro Nerd Girl's question. And Justin has seen this from living, from being in LA. Okay. You get the people in your ear to tell you what you're supposed to do. If you want to make it, you need to do this, you need to do that. That nerd persona, yeah, it worked for you for a while, but you know what? F those nerds. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. You want money, you want this check, F those freaking nerds and write exactly what we tell you to write.
Mm-hmm.
That is it in a nutshell. Kevin Smith didn't give a crap about you fans, because if he did, he would have kept his mouth shut. And he wouldn't be dissing us every single chance that he got. Oh, you don't like Tila, then you're a misogynist or whatsoever. He wants to be in that club. Okay. And he rode into that club on a lot of nerd goodwill. Okay.
Yeah, people loved him before this whole thing.
Loved him before this. He hasn't been the same since that heart attack. Now, I'm glad he's better and everything, but that changed. He's no longer big hefty Kevin Smith talking about, was it Secret Stash in the comic shop?
Oh,
yeah, the comic shop
in
Red Bank, New Jersey. So it's no longer Red Bank, New Jersey Kevin Smith. It is all about the Hollywood Kevin Smith. And again, F you nerds. He's trying to get his check. And if he has to subvert your expectations to do it, don't be surprised if he does it. I mean, I don't, like I said, I liked Revelation. I mean, I liked Revolution. I did enjoy what I saw, but in the back of my mind, even to the last episode, I'm like, when are they going to pull the rug out from under us?
Yeah.
So it's sad to say, but you know what, Kevin, you brought it on yourself. So all the people who said, screw you, I'm going back to go watch old school He-Man. And somebody brought up 2000. First of all, thank you, Kiss My Grits, for
Yes.
that $5 super chat. Thank you. Says Reina Creole, you should have a watch party of select episodes from the 2002 He-Man series, which is a case study in how to successfully reboot a franchise. Yes, I have seen that. I freaking loved it. It had like this anime style to it, especially with the battle scenes. You could see it. I'll have to put that on the list of all the other watch parties that we have to do. But you are 100% right. It was done so well, and I absolutely freaking loved it. So many people talk about that one, and I forget who was behind that one. I know I don't think Powerhouse did the animation. I think someone else did, but I'm not quite sure. But thank you so much for that, Kiss My Grits. I sure do appreciate that. And oh my gosh.
Well,
yeah, apparently
he's not wrong.
He's really not wrong. He's really not wrong. And the fact that he had to talk about his daughter who was of size and how she could possibly get shamed for a long freaking story. But no. No. Nah. I think her name was Haley. I think so. It's just like, girl. LOL. But that's true. So again, like I tell people with this show, I do not tell you what to watch. I will never tell you what to watch. I'll suggest some things, but I will never tell you. Have everybody's opinion up here. You take that information and you make your judgment as you will. If you're just like F Kevin Smith, you know what? You stay like that. You feel otherwise, because it is their fault that they pissed away that much fan goodwill that they're in the situation that they are now.
One thing though, the whole experience is, if you're an upcoming director or showrunner, that was an excellent display of how not to do your marketing, and how to unfortunately he had to be the one to show it to everybody, but you just don't do it that way.
Don't be a Kevin Smith. Don't be a Kevin.
Just don't be a jerk.
And I actually like him. I mean, at least I liked him a lot, before this whole thing. But
yeah, I liked him before.
It's hard for me to like.
He had a heart attack. That's when he died. Just think of it that way.
Oh, that's 100% true, and it was right in my backyard, in Philly.
He had a heart attack. It literally killed his career.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he went on super soy diet.
Yeah, super soy.
Literally.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. That's real.
I'm on a soy diet.
Wasn't he was supposed to be for Weight Watchers for a while, wasn't he?
He's a poster boy for I don't know. Sad man. Crying all the
Very,
time.
very, very sad. It's like he lost the weight and the creativity went with it.
And his masculinity.
That too.
Yeah.
Completely gone.
Yeah, cry face. Yeah, by the way, if you know anything about me, I don't often speak unkindly of people. And if I do, I would probably tell them to their face.
Yeah, likewise. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
You asked me, did you say so-and-so? Yes.
Oh, but yeah. By the way, that's true. I asked, Lorena said some stuff. I talked to her in person and she said the same stuff. So yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah. So don't ask her things you don't want to know.
No.
It's best for everyone.
Well, folks, first of all, I know we went over a little bit, but the conversation just gets so good. It's like,
it was sparkling. It was sparkling. Okay, sorry.
Fabulous. It was just fabulous.
The jazz hands.
Oh man. So first of all, definitely want to go around, let people know where they can find you. So we'll start with Justin. I know you're retired.
Well, I had a show called This Week in Bullshit. You can watch it all on the playlist. Everything is available as far as I'm aware. And if it's not, I'm going to make it available. You guys can see everything. You could go back all the way to the beginning, and you could see the progress of not just how I developed the show, but how Lorena developed, her podcasting skills, Culture Casino, Kai MFS, and so many other people. It's great, and you'll get a lot of good laughs from it. Go check those out. There's a few older videos that I very much enjoy. One was with my grandparents reacting to people's The Wizard of Oz critiques. And since my grandmother has passed, this is now sort of like a home video that I can never, that's never going to happen again. But I'm so glad I got to do that. And a lot of other different videos throughout the year. So go give it a look. And if you like them, maybe I'll come back every now and then. Maybe I'll surprise you.
Oh, please do. Please do. Because I miss hanging out with you, dude. I'm telling you.
I'm happy being a guest, by the way. I have no responsibilities. It's I don't have to do anything. It's great.
I know. I love it when I guest star.
It's been great.
Well, I'm glad to have you. Open invitation to drop in. Retro Nerd Girl. Let the people know where they can find you and what you have going on.
Oh yeah. Well, you can find me right here on YouTube, and I do a lot of retro reviews of things, and sometimes I do some live streams. This morning I did a live stream going over just the headlines of all the news. I think I had 35 different headlines I covered. It was really crazy. Yeah, it was a lot.
That's more than I ever did, and we had a lot.
I just kept finding them. Like, okay, come to mama. And then on Friday, I'm going to do a retro discussion with the gang in the chat about 1984 movies. We've already covered like the first 28, and I have a lot more to go. And then on Saturday, I do typically a watch party. And today, this watch party that I'm doing is going to be Dragon Slayer 1981.
Oh, wow.
That old movie.
Nice.
Yeah. It's just a lot of fun for me to do those. And I hope to see you guys over there.
Well, Retro Nerd Girl says such great stuff on her channel. I love getting to do watch parties with her on my channel. So stay tuned because we've got something special brewing. Watch party wise, very, very, very retro. And
I can't wait.
Make sure you're subscribed so you can see it. Such surprise. Sitting on it. Culture Casino, my YouTube cousin. Please let the people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up.
It's pretty easy. I keep it simple. Culture Casino everywhere. YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, Getter, Twitter, Minds. Pretty soon Insta, Facebook, Gram thing. You'll find me there.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I have to say I had an extraordinary time. A YouTube family. I'm in a YouTube family now. I feel like,
Yes.
and I'm just this is so fun. We ran long because we had fun. So thank you, Lorena, for doing this once again. I don't know if I don't know if you're going to be able to stand me seeing me twice a week. I think you're probably going to want to throw me out the house.
Oh no, you're like family. It's like just show up.
So
and
you
come
so
in
you
the
so
back
you want to
door.
throw me out the house every day then?
No,
Oh, all right.
no, not
Every now and then.
every now and then to show you I love you.
I love you. Now you sleep in the doghouse tonight outside.
Oh, but yeah, I love having you here. I love having this kind of free form conversation where you get so many. Sometimes the points of view line up, sometimes they don't. Just proof of some really, really, really great, discussion. I kind of like it to like being at the house of a Southern family. Not everybody agrees. Well, probably agree that, tea is supposed to be sweet. And if you want brown water, go to somebody else's house and get it. But there's always this diversity opinions and like that respect for that diversity of opinions, because that's what you come here for, to get all the spice and the hot takes and culture. You owe me that rant. I want that rant too.
I tell you what, you keep finding subjects like today. I will drop the fire. So yeah.
Oh, count on it. I sure will.
All right. Okay. You know me. I try to keep it inside. Hey, Pops. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, Pops. It's fun to listen while working. Thanks.
Pops is great. Pops did me a solid this week. So yeah, look, I've been coming up with some great creators, and I love all you. So thanks for being here, Pops. And Retro Nerd Girl, it has been lovely getting to know you, and Justin, I miss like the little brother that I always used to lock in the closet, and
until I came out.
With that, folks, we are going to call it a show. If you're watching this on replay, please do hit that like button. Definitely hit us up in the comments, with what we've been talking about on the show, so we can hear from you. So good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Subscribe to all of these fine people on the channel. I have the links in the description box, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Take care.